And good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a reminder to be alert behind the wheel. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
And I am Michael Fuller. You know, in recent weeks, emergency crews across Lancaster County are responding to several crashes involving pedestrians, some of them even deadly.
Yeah, just this weekend alone, one woman in Ephrata was killed while crossing the street.
And News 8's Meredith Jorgensen talked to neighbors who heard the crash happen and joins us live from that crash site. Hey, Mary, what do we know?
Ephrata police say 55-year-old Amy Kopsnyder was walking along Dawn Avenue trying to cross here at Clearview Avenue when she was hit. Now there are conflicting reports whether the driver who hit her stopped at this stop sign or not. It was just before 5 Friday afternoon when witnesses who live in the Cloisters Garden apartment say they heard the accident outside. A woman, a nurse, ran outside to help and said she could see Kopsnyder underneath the vehicle. She and another witness started CPR but say the woman was unconscious and bleeding. Later, the driver of the Toyota RAV4, a 62-year-old man who also lives in the nearby apartments, described to witnesses what he says happened. Police are investigating those claims.
He described stopping at the stop sign here on Clearview, looking left, then he said he looked right, and then he turned, didn't see anybody, and as he was pulling out, he said he just heard a smack, and then he stopped. So he did stop, he stayed, but he's not really sure where she came from.
The vehicle appears to have not stopped while the pedestrian was in the crosswalk, striking the pedestrian.
Kopsnyder was taken to the hospital with critical injuries where she later died. An autopsy was performed yesterday and the coroner says she died of multiple traumatic injuries and ruled the manner of death an accident. In Ephrata, Lancaster County, I'm Meredith Jorgensen, WGAL News 8.
Meredith, thank you. And new at 4, out of Dauphin County, Derry Township, police are asking for your help to find the person who was hit by a vehicle. So this happened Saturday afternoon. It was around 3 o'clock in the area of Fishburne and Hartley roads. Police say the man was crossing Fishburne Road when he was hit, but then he got up and continued walking toward the Glen Acres development. And while police have tracked down the driver, they are still looking for the man who was hit. He's described as a white man in his 30s with a beard. So if you know anything, please contact Derry Township Police. And in Juniata County, one man is dead after a mobile home fire. It happened early this morning on Oakhurst Lane in Thompsontown. The victim's name has yet to be released, but state police did say that the man was 35 years old. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
And Pennsylvania's Department of State is suing an AI chatbot company, saying that one of its bots illegally pretended to be a licensed medical professional. 8 on your side, political reporter Tom Lehman joins us live from the state capitol in Harrisburg on what the Shapiro administration is demanding from the courts. Tom.
Yeah, it's a first-of-its-kind lawsuit filed in Commonwealth Court, according to the governor's office. Essentially, what we've been told is that an investigator supposedly went on to this AI chatbot website and allegedly spoke with an AI chatbot that purported it was a real-life medical professional licensed here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This lawsuit, again filed in Commonwealth Court, says the chatbot said it was a psychiatrist on the website Character.ai and even came up with a fake license number in a conversation with an investigator. The lawsuit asserts the chatbot and Character.ai's parent company violated the state's Medical Act, prompting the Department of State to demand the court order the company to stop practicing medicine. One physician and state lawmaker said the allegations are concerning.
If a chatbot without any of those guardrails is putting themselves out there to the public and a company is allowing the chatbot to do that, then that is a huge red line that we should not allow to be crossed, because we decided long ago we're not going to allow quacks to practice medicine.
Now, for its part, Character AI said the user-created characters on our website are fictional and intended for entertainment and role-playing. They also went on to say that there are prominent disclaimers that people are not talking to a real person and things should be treated as fiction. I did talk with one former judge as well as a major legal expert here in the Susquehanna Valley about the case. I'll tell you what he had to say coming up at 5. But for now, here in Harrisburg, Tom Lehman, WGAL News 8.
Tom, thank you. So speaking of AI, a nonprofit watchdog is hoping to set benchmarks for youth safety when it comes to technology. Common Sense Media is launching the Youth AI Safety Institute. It's an industry-backed research and testing lab for learning the risks that children and teens might face when they're using artificial intelligence. The launch comes as multiple families have sued AI companies, alleging that chatbots encourage their children's suicides.
Well, it's skyrocketing in popularity, advertised as an energy booster, mood lifter, and pain reliever. You may have heard of Kratom. It's easy to get, like at gas stations, and many people have turned to it as a natural supplement to help with withdrawal symptoms after quitting opioids. But Kratom can also have serious health complications and has been proven to be unsafe and ineffective, and has led to an increase in calls to poison control centers in Pennsylvania. And now a group of Democratic lawmakers in the State House want to regulate the substance. It would allow the sale of natural Kratom at registered retailers to people 21 years and older. The measure would also ban synthetic kratom and chemically inflated concentrations, as well as advertising to children. And this comes as more than 500 advocates were at the state capitol this afternoon calling on lawmakers to pass stronger tobacco laws. You know, the Tobacco Resistance Unit says it wants stronger tobacco control policies that are related to secondhand smoke and more investment in tobacco prevention programs. The group says tobacco is the leading cause of preventable death in Pennsylvania, killing more than 20,000 people each year.
And taking a live look over Lancaster right now, we are in for a weather whiplash. So feeling more like summer right now. Was gorgeous today, but those temperatures are set to drop again tomorrow, and we could be dealing with some rain.
I know we may need it, but today's weather was just so nice. It was so good. Let's head on over to meteorologist Mike Sesko. Mike, what we got in store?
Yeah, guys, we have a pleasant evening coming our way tonight, and then as you mentioned, that rain as we go into your Wednesday. It is going to be beneficial and offer us about a quarter to a half an inch of rain as we go throughout your Wednesday. The cooler temperatures, though, will stick around after Wednesday. Thursday and Friday going to be on the cooler side as well. You're looking outside York from the York Fairgrounds there. You got a mix of sun and clouds, and currently it is 81 degrees in York County. Those gusts, though, around 25 to 26 miles per hour. So it's still going to be breezy out there, but very warm. 80s across the board here along and south of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Lewistown right around 79 degrees. Same thing up in Sealands Grove, but everyone else here in the low to mid 80s. Storm Team Light Radar Network, it is quiet here. There's some showers there to the north along I-80 as expected, but the cold front you see off to the west is what's going to bring us the rain as we go into your Wednesdays. So your 12-hour forecast, we remain dry for the rest of the evening. We'll drop back into the 60s overnight tonight. That rain will arrive by the time we get to about 5 o'clock in the morning for our western counties, and then it will become more widespread as we go throughout tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about the rain for your Wednesday, and also if there's any other chances for rain coming up here in the next 10 days in a little bit, guys.